So like I heard about this I heard about my job. It's like global health messenger job interview. And I I like was trying to figure out like what time they wanted me to meet with them and
Yeah.
everything. And then I had to forward it to Kenny. He's my mentor. And
Did
so
he say do it?
well, yeah, Kenny said he'd do it. So
Cool.
and the mentor can be in on the interview, but like they don't have to be because busy and stuff like that. So I just told him I was like available like at 5:30, so 6:30 Eastern, and then like anytime on Tuesday, the times they gave me. So see what happens.
They're gonna interview you? That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm like in the top 20 to 25 that applied for
Wow.
this job. And it's
How
like
many
all
people
around the
applied?
I don't know, it's like all around the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
It's pretty
really thought
sick.
like podcasting, I was just like, yeah, I think this will help. That I do a podcast. I randomly started a YouTube channel during the pandemic.
Well, you do
So
3 podcasts now.
well yeah, no, three. And so
It
probably
looks good that like 2 people are like, "Hey, I want you to do a podcast with me."
yeah.
Special Olympics and me and yeah, started the other one, so
Well, I interviewed these guys, Lincoln and Jeremy, who are the Lincoln North Star tennis coaches. And
Mhm.
so, like, we talked about life and stuff like that on Be Unexpected podcast. But I was
Yeah.
like, we'd make a great like tennis podcast because like we were talking tennis and like strategies and the mental aspect, and then just players. It was super fun. So,
Cool.
so how do you feel about your health? Uh, what's the like real name of it? Your challenge for your business, your health challenge.
Yeah, it's 21-day challenge. I just called it reps, recipes, and results to sound
There you
catchy,
go.
but
It
feel good
make
about it.
it's simple. It's that's what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I actually came up with the name, and then I was like, "How am I gonna make this work?" And then I just kinda created it.
yeah, for sure.
Or, like, the slides I came up with, I just, like, pick, it's like an exercise. I, like, just pick a slide that has nothing to do with health and fitness, and then I make it into what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You know, I like delete slides and add slides, but I'll use, like, the first 3 to 7 and, like, create it how I need it to look.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I think that'll be
Dude,
good.
that was a wild Zoom call, though.
Yeah. How many people were on it? Because I was listening to it.
Not that many, but the fact that mom was yelling at you during the Zoom call. You know that?
No, and I was just
Dude,
like, I thought you'd walk away. It was like,
no,
why
dude.
would you not walk away? That's
No, because, so one, she didn't put herself on mute, but then somebody else didn't. I think, yeah, Audrey's brother was, like, watching the game, and he didn't put himself on mute, so we just hear, like, the game,
oh yeah.
and then I'm like, I don't think he heard me. I was like, "Hey, can you put yourself on mute?" I was like, "Oh, it's no problem, I got you, because I can put people on mute, which is no big deal."
Right.
And then mom all of a sudden is yelling. She's
What?
yelling, "Wyatt, turn off the TV." And I was just like trying to keep it together. I was like, Wyatt's not on this call. She thought you were on it watching TV, but she's yelling at Adam the whole time.
That's
And then I
hilarious.
muted Adam, and then I muted mom. I muted mom and dad. And then during the
Yeah, I was sitting right there. They're like, "How can we ask a question if he puts us on mute?" And I'm just like, I don't think he knows that. Maybe you should tell him. They were busting out laughing. It was hilarious.
why?
And because they were like, well, yes, everybody has any questions. You can't answer questions when he puts you on mute.
Yeah, but you
Because
can unmute yourself.
that's what I was telling them. I was like, you can unmute yourself. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, he put us on mute. We don't know what to do. It was like, you just press the button. Oh my god. And they
Dude,
were
I told you
laughing
the
at
wildest.
you because they're like, you put us on mute. How can you ask us any questions? And they were thought it was funny. I was like, you can unmute it. And they're like, no, he can't because he has to unmute us. So it's just like, you can still unmute yourself.
That is hilarious. Immediately after I got done, within seconds, Jess and Ryan call me and are dying laughing like we are laughing.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
I kind of wish I forgot to record the call.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but I kind of wish I would have. In the moment, it was just like freaking crazy. But
Yeah.
crazy as it, I was like, is this really happening? But it was fine.
Oh yeah. The good thing is,
That
once
was
you learn
hilarious.
something, you just learn a bunch. What you did
Yeah.
wrong, what you did right. I made a bunch of mistakes podcasting when I started.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. Now we have one of the funniest stories ever.
I'm definitely gonna put this on my YouTube channel. Parents and Zoom calls.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was funny.
But
All right. I think we should just talk about goals a little bit. Make it like
Alright.
20 minutes.
Yeah, fine by me.
Just like we'll talk about goal setting. It's really easy, like set goals. What are you laughing about?
Just mom and dad and Zoom. It's so funny. I can't get serious now. It's too funny.
I know, yeah.
Oh
Oh my gosh. I haven't laughed that hard in a while.
Oh my gosh. All
I
right.
can't wait to tell Audrey. I want to call Jess and tell her right now.
Our podcast.
Yeah, I have to
You gotta
actually.
call her.
Oh my gosh. I'll FaceTime her.
She's probably in bed.
Yeah, she might be in bed.
Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock. Didn't you go to bed at 9?
She puts her phone on do not disturb at a certain point.
Yeah. I called you last night. I knew you weren't gonna answer, but I don't care. He doesn't have to answer.
Yeah. Yeah, she has her notification silenced. You gotta call her and tell her that tomorrow.
Oh my god. I gotta tell Michaela.
Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. All right, people. We gotta talk about goal setting here. Something serious.
Yeah, we gotta get real.
Yeah, we do. 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock your time. Gotta get serious.
Gotta wake up.
Right. So goal
All right.
setting.
I'll start off.
All right.
Welcome to the Spalding Show. It's your host, Wes Wyatt Spalding. Where we talk about sports, health and fitness, and life. Or how did I say it last time?
Said sports, health, and fitness.
Got the stupid glare.
I don't know. Yeah, I got one too. Sports, health, and fitness. Just put sports or health and fitness show. It's fine. The third
Sports,
one,
health, fitness, and whatever else we feel like talking about. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, it was like self-improvement.
Or like mindset.
Yeah, whatever. They can read the description.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Gotta
Ready?
get into it too.
What's up? Welcome to the Spalding Show with your hosts, myself, Weston, and my twin brother, Wyatt Spalding, where we talk about sports, health and fitness, and whatever else we feel like talking about, from mindset to something about just being twins growing up. So today we're gonna kind of do what we did for our first episode, and we're gonna talk about goal setting and kind of how we have different strategies for how we set goals, how we attack them, and then maybe we'll get into kind of how we support each other um, by supporting each other, and then just back of your mind, your twins pushing you, and you can't really like let them win secretly.
Yeah.
Also, in the pushing sense, but why you're the better goal setter, I would say. Um, just strategy wise, I'm kind of all over the place, or I think about it a lot before I set an actual goal. But we'll start with you. What I guess what's been a couple of your biggest goals that you've gone after, and how did you decide to like attack those? When did you decide to attack those, and how did you go about from setting this big goal to getting all the way down to setting a day-to-day goal?
All right. So, like, I remember one time, I think you asked me that.
Mhm.
You always ask me like really detailed questions, and like to me, it's like as a person that does it for me, it's like I just did it. Like, I didn't write. I'm not really a write down kind of person. I
Mhm.
just like set my mind to it and like go do it. But that's probably not really the main thing. It's like what it was is I couldn't stop thinking about it. I
Yeah.
couldn't stop thinking about like I wanted to be good at basketball. I wanted to be good at tennis. Um, I wanted to be better at reading. I don't
Mhm.
know. It's just like this moment comes where you have this feeling inside. Like reading was more like anger because I read at a fourth grade reading level in middle school. So, and we were about to go to high school. So I don't know. That was kind of anger. I just didn't want to accept that I wasn't a good reader or I could get better at reading. And then,
Mhm.
sports, it was like honestly probably loneliness because couldn't always go play pickup with you and our friends. So I'd shoot baskets in the driveway. I honestly truly believe if I didn't have cerebral palsy, I wouldn't have played basketball. I would have played football and baseball. But what I
Yeah.
realized about basketball was like you could easily play by yourself, obviously. And so like I just kind of like remember this one weekend. Remember that summer you played baseball? I think it was the second year of select baseball, and I was like really sick with the stomach pains and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There was like this one Saturday or something. I was like shooting and like I like literally lost track of time. I had no idea how long I'd been outside. I wasn't like doing any drills or anything. I was just like running around, shooting hoops, pressing pump fakes, like acting like I was in a real game and trying to get shots off. And I was out there for like 2.5 hours. And I think like then I just kind of like fell in love with just shooting hoops and probably like the whole feeling of not being able to play sports in middle school. I just like after I like kind of like sucked it up and stopped feeling sorry for myself, I was just like, look, I'm gonna be good at basketball. Like I'm not gonna feel like this shitty ever again for sports. Like feeling like I'm not good enough or I'm on the bench. And I literally thought I was gonna play high school basketball with you guys someday because I was just like, oh, if I practice hard enough, I can. And then when I got
Mhm.
into Special Olympics, I kind of realized about eighth, ninth grade that, I probably wouldn't, but there was a shot, which there was, but we can get into that later. And I just kind of like set goals for myself. And like, it just went back to like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I would literally
Mhm.
lay in bed, this in the summertime. I could not sleep because I was just thinking about, oh, tomorrow I don't have to work. So if I don't work, I'm going to shoot hoops for like 2, 3 hours, then go play tennis for 4 to 5, lift weights, run, do all this stuff. And like it'd be like 12, 1 o'clock, and I get up like 6 a.m. and go do
Mhm.
all that. And yeah, I think like anything, like sports, a job, you know, a girlfriend, boyfriend, like you can't stop thinking about someone or something. Like you really want to make it work or to make that dream come true.
Mhm.
So you just put the work in. Now some people are like goal setters. Like I've heard like pro athletes say like write your goals down and all that. Yeah, that wasn't me. I had my goals up here in my head. I just went and did it. Like there was, I had all the time. I spent a lot of time by myself. Like when you were playing pickup with our friends, so we'd all be at the
Mhm.
Y. Like you guys would be off on one court playing, and I'd be off on another court shooting by myself. So, but I don't know. I guess I just had this belief that it would all work out. I think like going through medical conditions and all that, surgeries and like procedures, like you just kind of built this faith of it all work out in the end. Like I don't know
Mhm.
how, I don't know how long it will take, but it'll all work out. And I love doing it. I loved working out. I loved like putting in time and effort in basketball, and tennis was, it was kind of a different love or thing. It was like I sucked at everything else. Like, I was bad. Like I wouldn't have picked me, especially for baseball. But
Mhm.
tennis just came easier to me. Within 6 months, I had a good or decent forehand. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do this because I kind of didn't really love tennis at first. I just loved the process of getting good. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I have a chance to be really good at this. And then probably after my back surgery, so when you're a freshman in college, that's when I kind of really started to love tennis. Not in high school at all, because I don't
So it
know.
seems like basketball was like your first love. What was a goal that you had in your mind that you like couldn't stop thinking about?
Um, I wanted to like, I guess for Special Olympics when I started playing, besides like playing high school basketball, that was probably like my
Mhm.
main goal. But really, a more realistic goal, which I learned through Special Olympics and just playing, like, all right, I'm probably gonna play this. Like, this is my level, and I wanted to lead the team in some stat and obviously scoring, but I realized like that wasn't realistic at first because I just like wasn't that great of a shooter. So like
Mhm.
I was in assists and I could push the ball up the floor and I knew how to play defense.
Mhm.
So I let us passing and defense. So I worked on that a bunch. Like passing, I guess you could say I just worked on my ball handling a lot. And then like I always had a goal and I still do of, I want to be the guy. I want to be the guy. We're gonna win it or lose it on me. If we win,
Mhm.
it's because the team. And I'll say like, yeah, the team really helped out and all this, and as a team we played good. And we lose it, like, yeah, I lost it for us. And I remember Dad would say like, when in middle school, like, don't put that pressure on yourself, which probably was the right thing to say because you and I
To
probably
most.
put too much pressure. But now it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't mind, like, because I know the next day, you know, whether we win or lose, I'm gonna be back in the gym. It's not going to
Yeah.
change my life. Which when we were in like teenagers and probably early 20s, I felt like this could change my whole life. And I just remember like mom and dad being like, it could, it's possible, but probably not. So
It's kind of like it's like I get what you're saying because I definitely think this way too, and definitely thought this way from when we were playing sports even to now. Um, in certain, I guess, work situations, not every work situation, but I've been in work situations where I'm like, you want like the pressure, and you'd rather you take on more responsibility. If it goes, like you said, if it goes well, it's because of the team. But if something doesn't go well, then as a leader, you would rather take the hits. That way, other people on your team don't necessarily have to take the hit.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it's
Like,
hard. Like it's hard to do too because sometimes like hits being taken, and then you might feel like part of your ego is like, well, technically that wasn't my fault. Like that wasn't me. And then you want to point the finger. Maybe you do point the finger, and but that if you want to be the leader, and then it's like other people's decisions and actions that they took didn't help the team, sports or work environment or family environment. Like if you're the leader, then you are responsible for all actions, and like you didn't help correct the action or whatever. Like you're taking that leadership, that head, even though you still see it as a team aspect. Like, hey, we sink or swim as a team.
right.
From the outside in, like you'd rather take. It's like you're the shield. It's like you're the armor for the rest of people around you. Because you're like, well, like you said, I know I'm going to go back into the gym. I know I'm going to go back into the next day, working harder on this thing. Um, and I trust that I'm going to do it more than anybody else. And I know if I do it by example, then your team hopefully follows by
Yeah,
your
because
example.
let's just face it. Certain teammates, they're not going to do that. They're
Yeah.
not going to the gym the next day. They're
Mm-hmm.
not lifting weights or running. And like our leagues are completely different. You playing high school, college, and me playing Special Olympics. Like Sometimes some athletes in my league, they practice and I go to the gym, so they end up going to the gym. And some of them is just like, hey, let's just get them to work out at practice, That's a win.
Mhm.
But like for you, I bet it was like, why are you not stop complaining about we're not that good if you're not gonna go to the gym and put in the
Mhm.
extra work if you're gonna go out. Like then quit complaining if we're losing or you're not playing. So
Yeah, we used to have like a saying with the guys like to each other, just hey, we know you practice this shot, so we want you to take that shot.
right.
I don't care if you miss the shot because we know you've been practicing it.
Mhm.
It's like if you've been putting the preparation, like good teammates are gonna be like, hey, we want you to go take that chance. We want you to go take that shot. If you miss it, then whatever, you miss it. But we'd rather you take that chance than somebody else who's never practiced that shot or situation take that chance.
Exactly.
And I feel like I can go into just real life, like discipline wise. You want somebody maybe making a deal for your business who has put in the preparation of working all the jobs the business is around the business all day and not just like investing from afar or something. You want somebody that's like in the mix with you and doing the little things and leading by example and coaching those underneath. And I'm not at that spot in real world, and I could have definitely done a better job, like as a leader, high school and college, just by example and by words. But um, definitely like with opening up my own like gym and do more online coaching. I want to like master the coaching part, do all the nitty gritty stuff and the stuff I don't like now. So that way I can just teach people, teach kids or like high school kids, like, hey, like if you want to be a trainer and want to work in the fitness industry, like I've had X amount of years experience. Let me teach you, and then you go do your own thing. It's like kind of like the leader thing too. You sacrifice some of your game, sacrifice some of your like glory to uplift other people on your team. And
Yeah.
I just remember like coaching you, and you were, I mean, you could have took every shot technically. There got to a point when you were like,
When I was playing JV.
yeah, and you could have like took every shot on the floor, but it's more fun, like you said. Your goal at the beginning was to be a passer, and you never really got away from that goal of, hey, if I lift people up around me, like we're gonna be a lot better in a team, and people are gonna, play harder on defense too. And when you kind of lift people up and their strengths around you, they're gonna want to help out with the dirty work too.
Yeah, I mean, like today at practice, uh, I'm like our best outside shooter. I'm not it's not bragging, I just know I'm our best outside shooter. So like I
Yeah,
could
you
have pulled
practice,
up.
so of course you're
Yeah.
gonna become
So
the
it's
outside
like,
shooter.
yeah, and like no one really can shoot threes on the team. And, they're always an athlete that makes 1 out of 10. But hey, they make it, but like consistently I can shoot. So I could come down to the court
Mm-hmm.
and just pull it. And it's nice because I'm back in my old position, like playing point guard. And I would like score, but then like my team was probably a little bit of the weaker team, I'll say, but we were fine. And um, I was just trying to like get them to move around, and but then like it was hard to like get everyone to like try to move at the same time. So what I would do, I would go to the middle, and then I'd try to like get people open and pivot around, or I threw a bunch of bad passes at the beginning, but then I was trying to get people involved. I think I had like 3 hockey assists, so I came down, passed to some guy on the wing, and he fed it to the big man, and then he scored. So then that was like a good idea. And then one was
That's not like NBA 2K. We get points for a
yeah.
pass to assist.
I kind of wish they'd make that a stat, like in basketball now, because like that's like a big like credit to the guy that gave you the ball to you got an assist, because he could
Yeah.
have not given it to you, and he saw the
Mhm.
opening like, and I just remember that from like a game we played in, because I tried to pass it to you and it got picked off, and you're like, Wyatt, you should have passed it to the wing to Kendrick, and then could have passed it to me down low. So then I just
Mhm.
remembered that. I was like, all right, I'll do that next time. So then
Mhm.
that's how I remember. And then one time in practice, I drove, I was falling, so I really like rolled it like a bowling ball to this one athlete, and they dove on the floor for the ball. But yeah, like we were just working hard as a team, and we're down. I mean, I scored a bunch too. I think I scored like 18 or 19 points, but I had like 3 or 4 assists.
Not
Uh,
bragging thing. You scored 18 or 19. No big deal.
hey, I don't mind saying it. It's fun.
It's the Kobe mentality.
Yeah. So I banked in three somehow. I don't know. But
Those
then,
don't
but
count.
what?
Those don't count. You gotta switch them, man. You can't be banking
Whatever.
in threes.
It counts.
Depends on
Whatever.
how you bank it in, because you got a certain bank that, like, I could tell when you kind of meant to do it. I could tell when you just chucked it up and you got lucky.
Oh yeah, I definitely like two of them. I got well, one I know I got lucky because I don't know how I banked in. I banked it in from the side, like from an angle, from a weird angle, and
Yeah,
it
it's
went
luck.
in. And then but anyway, it's just like I had a couple plays where I could have scored way up, but I turned around and gave it to another athlete try to score. You're like trying to direct people on how to get them open, like you did. Like I remember like watching you like playing high school ball and most like I remember summer ball. Like the coach gave you the ball and it was like, "This is your team. I need you to run the floor." I'm just watching you like direct people on how to go on where to go on the play and everything. So I like took that from you. Was it like hard for you like being a point guard? Like you're like the quarterback out there, so you really have to lead people and some guys probably do the plays better than others. What was it like?
So like high school, when I was on the school team and the summer team, I was playing with guys that'd be like more athletic or maybe a little better shooter, and I would like get that exercise induced asthma, which I think was that I wasn't breathing right. I didn't know how to breathe right.
Mm-hmm.
So like breathing through my chest, not my diaphragm. And then
Mm-hmm.
I also think I wasn't good about like they say never take a play off, but in basketball, if you're strategic, you know when they kind of like when you need to be going hard and when you just need to be in the right position. So I would gas really fast. I felt like so a lot of times I'd be dying. People said I looked like I was in shape, but a lot of times I was just like I was very out of breath, and so I was like, okay, how can I get us a score without having me have to try to score because I'm not really a one-on-one player. I'm more of like a come off of screens and cuts type of player,
Mm-hmm.
and I would do things like dribble into the guy on the wing, or so I dribble into his defender. So I would go right at his defender and tell him to curl in behind me because it was a fake. It was a screen without me screening him. So I would dribble into his guy and then turn my butt into him and flip it back to him. So my guy wouldn't switch off of me
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't setting a screen and I wasn't doing a handoff, but I was going directly at the guy on the wings man. So that way he couldn't get to the guy behind me. And that's how, like, remember Matt Hine when he hit like 6 threes against Southwest?
Yeah, I was gonna say you do that with Matt a lot. I remember.
Yeah. I was like, dude, just like kind of float behind me because your guy is never going over the top. And if he does, then I just pitch it to him.
Yeah.
You see that a lot in the NBA, I think. I feel like. Um, or like some guys did not know plays, like no freaking clue on what to do. So we come out timeout, and our guys come up to me and ask me what to do, and I was like, just do this. And sometimes, most of the time, it was like the play. A couple times, I was like, they're gonna do this, and I want you to do this. And I was just coming back from our freshman year of high school when Coach Berg would make us write out the plays, and I would like write them out, and then I would write out like, all right, if it doesn't work, what would happen if they cheat on it? They know it's coming. What's going to happen? And then I just did that in class too. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of class. I was just like, write, draw basketball plays and my worksheets. So yeah, just kind of like thinking about situations and seeing it, um, watching a lot of basketball and just really knowing my guys too. So knowing what they like. And I feel like a good leader is like I learned this a lot from my previous job working in kitchens. Like if you're a good leader, you feel like you didn't get a whole lot accomplished, but the whole team got a lot accomplished. It's like you kind of
Right.
like help everybody. So like I mean, basketball now you definitely a point guard that can put up points.
Right.
You're also going to be getting a lot of assists, and you're going to have a lot of energy. And kind of like what you do is like you dive on the floor and you create energy, and you definitely help out with a lot more points than what you think. And like being a leader is just about like all right, you're gonna do a bunch of things that nobody's really gonna see. Like we talk about the pass assist, you don't get credit for that. It's like you're not gonna get credit for a lot of things because you see things before they happen and you know what's gonna happen because you've ran through the situation.
But like
Uh,
a good coach or a good boss, they'll see what you do that nobody else does.
yeah, and sometimes you're the boss, and sometimes nobody's gonna really see like what you do, and you just gotta be cool with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's more of like, you did what's right. God knows we did what's right. It's also hard though, because in your ego, it's like, dude, you deserve this credit. Like you need to tell people, and then you're like, no, I gotta control this ego because you got pulled out at the right time.
Yeah, I think there's like a right time and a bad time to like be a little
Mhm.
cocky or confident. Cause it's just like, I mean, like a lot of people you put in the work, most of the time you're gonna get acknowledged, but if you need to say something or you kind of brag about yourself a little bit, that's fine too, but just don't do it all the time.
Yeah, you gotta know who you're doing it to as well. It's like you bragging to your boys,
Yeah.
bragging to your friends. They like they want to like hear that, or you kind of like mess around with each other. Um,
I literally just did it. So
yeah,
I literally just did it, but I do it because it's not like there's someone covering our team or like, we don't play like 30 games. And so now I'm like, every now and then I'm just going to tell people how I did. I don't care if
yeah.
it's
Sometimes you do
not,
gotta advertise yourself. Like
yeah. So,
this is my job, or
yeah,
like this is my thing. I'm good at it. Like
yeah.
so, you're like, come watch me because I'm freaking good, and my team's gonna win. I'm gonna like do what I can to make myself score and my team score so we can win. And yeah, I get that because I have to do it as a coach. Like I have to be like, I know my stuff. I believe in what I'm doing. Sometimes it's like hard, but it's like when I can switch over into like my old basketball mindset, then it's like easy. I don't know. Like sports is so much easier to pull out an ego when you need it. And it's like confidence. Like I feel like we're saying ego, but sometimes it's just like you're confident because you put in the work.
Yeah. And
And
like you
sometimes
as a health coach, I mean, think about it, like people like advertise the people they helped and they're doing really well. Like if you had a website or you made a post, like look at this person, they were like this when they started. Now they're in really great shape because they did this and this, and they see that
Mhm.
you're their coach and you're not really saying I made him like this, but you kind of are by showing them off. But it's like it's good for them too because then people can see how healthy they are, how in shape they are. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start actually having people need to come up with a series of like 3 to 4 questions and have them write them at the beginning and then write them at the end. Because a lot of times it's like I see people's mind shifts change. Like I don't know, I just don't know if I can do that. I'm not really sure, and I don't really like say much on it at first, or depending on the person and situation.
yeah.
I like to mold that disbelief into a belief, and then at the end, they're either doing the thing or they got a totally different outlook
Mhm.
on their situation. And so I want to do something like that where it's like you can see like almost journal entries and see the change in your mind because like yeah, you can change your body, but if your mind doesn't like permanently change, you're just gonna fall back into the same stuff. Like you just said you were the goal setting. We were trying to talk about goals. We hardly even talked about goals, but like it was all up in your head. Like you just like couldn't
Yeah.
stop thinking about it.
I mean, yeah.
And
Like that mind thing, that mindset thing, like I could not change my body. Like so for some points, I have CP. It's permanently damaged with CP. But like your mindset, like my mindset was like, okay, I got this. I'd have to adapt to certain ways, how to shoot the ball, how to do this at work, how to hold something or open a door or whatever. And it's just
mhm,
like adapting. Like when you have goals, like life is just gonna happen. And you're not gonna like it's not going to be like a straight line and you're just going to make that goal. It's going to be like, okay, this is my plan. Oh, this happened. Now this is my plan. I can still do this at this time, but I can't do it right now because this
yeah,
roadblock is in ahead of me and I have to find a way around it or go right through it. Like it's just like if you have a goal, like I would say don't set a time limit. It's a terrible idea. We both did that. It was awful. Like because you'd reach it or you reach that time and it's like I am nowhere close to this goal. I'm working on it, but like I'm nowhere close to reaching this goal at all. And like the question is really, do you want to stop or do you want to keep going? And most people that
mhm.
reach their goal, they just keep going. And you look up, it's like I'll reach this in 6 months. It's been 4 years. But rich shit.
I'm like 50-50. Like I do like setting a time because sometimes I need that sense of urgency.
Right.
Like, let's get an example. I guess like with my gym, like building my gym right now in our garage. I'm like really trying not to set a time on it, but like I am because like I need to get this up so I can start training people in it. But then I almost said like so far, I'm like, there's like I'm only being lazy if I don't get it done by then. So like January 1st, for a month and a half. And but sometimes I'm also like I guess with the gym, I was thinking I gotta paint this garage this week. Like it's gotta be done this week. It's very doable. This is past week. It's like I have to get this done because I have not got going on it.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like it's meant to be like maybe a shorter term goal for your longer term goal.
Yeah.
Short term goals, maybe urgency, as long as you can physically write down how you're going to do it. And you're like, that is very realistic. But like a bigger goal, yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Like maybe don't put a time limit on it. Like sometimes maybe you will because it's,
Yeah, you
think about
got
all
to,
the
or else you won't hold yourself accountable. But like, if you don't reach it, and you're still are like, if you're still thinking about it all the time, and it's like your number one thing you want to do in life, then
yeah,
and you still want, like, you still are wanting to achieve that goal, just push the timeline back. If you have
yeah,
now, like for me, it was different. I it's sick or some big medical thing would pop up, so hopefully doesn't happen to a lot of people. But I just like, okay, I'm gonna put that on the back burner right now. I'm gonna work on this part of my goal first, and then I'm gonna get back to the main thing, and then I'll just keep going. I mean,
mhm,
like I thought I was gonna go to like these tennis tournaments around the country for Special Olympic tennis, and then go to USA Games in 2014. All of that didn't start happening until 2017 because I had the back surgery. So it's just like you're gonna probably take a couple steps back some days. I mean, I bet you it's not always a walk in the park creating this gym,
mhm,
obviously, right? Have you
yeah.
ever any like is it going pretty smooth or if you have any like obstacles in the way?
I would say it's like how I put it. It's the bumpy road I expected it to be.
That's good.
Like painting took longer than I thought. The ceiling was the last like wall I had to paint. I painted all the walls in a day, and I'm like I'm gonna do the ceiling. And I'm horrible with setting timelines. Like I'm sometimes time blind. I'm like I can do this in 2 hours. It'll take me 6 hours. And like that's what happened to this ceiling. But I had to get it done by a certain time to go to my other job
Right.
that I have currently with Bold. And so I was like, I have to get this done before I go because I didn't want to like put away the paint and then get it back out for like this tiny little spot.
Right. Right.
Um, then I opened up some equipment, and then not all of it was there, and then some of it was like damaged, so I got to send some of it back, which is no big deal.
Mm-mm.
It's like I think I've gotten better at being like when things happen, just kind of like rolling with it. Like, okay, what's the next step? Even though I took 3 steps back, it's like sitting here 3 steps back is not gonna really do anything. So, and then our floor's like slanted, so I gotta set up the rig differently so that way it's even. I don't know. So
Yeah,
my
man.
goal this week is to get the rig up before we leave for Thanksgiving. So
Nice. That's a good goal.
yeah,
That's a good goal. And it's like all like willing how much time you're willing to put in. Like you
yeah,
could
that's
be
true.
like, I'm gonna be done at 9 or 10, and then I'm not. I'm just gonna do it when I get back from Thanksgiving. Or
Mhm.
if you really want it, then it's like, I am not leaving until I get this done. And
Yeah,
like that's all about setting goals, like how bad you want it. And we both have had goals that we have not accomplished, probably. Like, what did I want to do? Oh, I thought I was gonna be good at baseball. I tried practicing all the time, and yet I still wanted to go play basketball or be better at football, or probably there's some other things you know, set goals on and I never achieved. I thought it'd be cool to play piano. I
yeah.
practiced like during COVID during the winter, and then when it got nights outside, I went outside. Never practiced again.
You ever
So
find like sometimes you like I want this goal, and you start the goal, and you're like, I actually didn't really want that goal at all.
yeah, but like yeah, exactly. You think it'd
Yeah,
be cool? Like
yeah,
I think it'd be cool to become an actor. I really think that
yeah.
would be fun. But like, am I willing to go to auditions or put in the time? Not really. Now, do I think maybe someday? maybe if I don't want to play sports anymore. But right now, I just want to play sports. I'm on podcasts. It's like my
Mhm.
thing. So, I
Yeah, so you
mean,
gotta sacrifice other goals for the goal you want, technically.
exactly.
Opportunity comes.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it's like a harsh self-reality when you're like, "Oh, man, I thought I wanted this, but I really didn't want it." And I find my I don't know if you say a flaw. I guess one thing to do is, like, I'll tell, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this," or "I wanna do this." But then I find my actions are not representing the goals that I'm saying.
Hmm.
So it's like my values are aligned to my actions and my goals. So my values are at the top. I guess you could say my actions are in the middle and goals are at the bottom.
Hmm.
It's like when all those are aligned, then it feels pretty easy. Sometimes like my values are over here, my actions are over here, and my goals are like in the middle. So now I'm like getting pulled all these directions and they're
Yeah.
not like so. But yeah,
And
I could definitely see like some of your goals, like become an actor or learn to play piano or whatever. I feel maybe getting good at baseball. I don't know. You have to put in some more work on that one for sure.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I have this
Yeah,
tennis tournament coming up that's pretty big. So I'll be
yeah,
focusing on that. But sometimes I just play other sports like baseball, soccer, just because I don't want to get burned out with basketball and tennis. And that's always good,
yeah.
like when a big event is over. But
Takes a
yeah, I
little
mean,
break.
like for you, like I think you wrote down. Did you want to like own a coffee shop or something one time?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals.
Yeah.
Like try to like start this little gym and then when we move, bigger house,
Right.
have a garage, bigger gym, and then kind of see where it goes from there. Get a I definitely want to own the land if we have a gym
That'd be
or
cool.
like own the building because like I don't know. It's like kind of weird. I don't know enough about real estate yet, so kind of like I have a vision of a facility I would want, but it's like maybe got like wants this other facility. I know my main goal is to, like help a lot of people have health and fitness just a normal thing in their life, make it easy, make it like something they can do forever, and help people with their long term health, and then with that like help kids in sports somehow. And that might be a big facility, or that might be I'm doing it really efficient out of a smaller facility, or in my garage, or more online, or more like hopping around places. So
Yeah.
I
I
guess that's
mean,
the main goal, but how
mhm.
it happens, I'm just kind of I got one idea, but who knows? Maybe God's got a different like path for it. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you could have goals in life and be like, yeah, I want to do it. But maybe at that time in your life, it's like, okay, I'm not really ready to do this right now, or I'm just not into it. It's not on my mind 24/7. So, like, you just put it on the back burner. And then maybe 10, 20 years down the line, you're like, now's the time. I'm
yeah,
ready to like open a coffee shop or become an actor or whatever. And that's when, like you said, God wants you to do it, or you just go one totally different direction. And it's like, whoa, I can't believe I am doing this in my life, but I'm sure glad all this adversity happened because I never would have got to this point. So,
yeah.
I
And we
mean,
kept talking about it the other day too. Like sometimes your goal is just not be like poor or broke.
yeah, exactly.
Like, that's a
And
good motivator. Like how you said, like you're just angry, so you want to get better at reading. Or like sometimes like you maybe I don't know, maybe your house is like always a freaking mess. And then you just like I need to be better at organizing. All these like little tiny goals kind of stack you up, so a good foundation for that bigger goal that you wanted to do but way back when, but you're like, okay, I see why I had to wait a little bit.
yeah, I mean, like, I just remember like there have been a couple of days where like I'd work, go work out, and then go, home, just like watch sports or TV
Mhm.
or whatever. And I was like, today was a really good day. And it was like nothing really happened, like huge. But like those were the days like I like wish for, like when you're in the hospital when you're sick with pneumonia for like a month. Like you just want a normal day. Because like think
Yeah.
about it, there's a lot of people that probably would want a normal day, but they're going through maybe a health thing or something worse or whatever. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you think is a goal in your life. Like big.
Yeah.
It's not like our goals. Some of our goals are pretty big and some are like Yeah, I never would know that unless you would have said something, you know. But yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, my best strategy is like if I like really want to do something, then I just call you and tell you because then you are very I'm just gonna be real. You're just like freaking annoying about it until I start doing it. And you're like, so how's that going? I'm like, dude, I haven't worked on it because I'm trying to get my other jobs like done or something like that.
because
And then
it's
I'm
not
like,
number one,
yeah,
man.
gotta get
Not
going on this.
number one. That's the
Yeah,
thing. And like people are gonna get mad if you bail on them or whatever, but it's your life, people's lives, and it's like I'm gonna disappoint somebody and I'm gonna make somebody really happy.
that's
So
true. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I learned that from being sick. Like it's just like, well, I'm gonna I'm gonna make this meeting, but I'm not gonna make this probably or this activity or whatever. And you know what?
Yeah.
Can't make it happen right now. They're mad at me? Not my problem. Trying to get healthy.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, sounds like a you problem.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, goals are what you make it and how bad you want it, pretty much. And
Mhm.
yeah, just go for
Yeah.
it and
Well,
see what
I think
happens.
that's a good spot to end it. Not get too long winded because I know we both can. But thanks for hopping on the Spalding Show. Share this, like it, send it to your best friend, and look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. If you want us to talk about something, then feel free to reach out to one of us and give us some ideas on what you want to hear about from personal lives to health and fitness to Wyatt's take on how his Vikings are going to miss the playoffs this year. So,
Oh, they are
whatever.
way better than the Packers. They suck. Well,
No, I think I was going to say I'm a Denver Broncos fan, but that
they
didn't too
suck
hot.
too. They're playing right now. I put the game on pause because like it started the second half. I put the game on pause to do this. So what I'm gonna go do at what time is it? Almost 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. You know, I'm not gonna go to bed and go watch the game.
Yeah.
So
This is how our endings are going to happen too. We're going to pick up another topic right before we get off. That's pretty much how our regular phone calls go. But thanks for hopping on the Spalding Show, and we'll see you next time.
see you.
See ya.